Greetings, kiddos. So, welcome to Module 1, Lesson 2, Activity 2.1. We're still in that series that's called Slides, Flips, and Spins, and we're on an activity called Translations on the Plane. I want you to take a second, pause the video, and go ahead and read overview. All right, so a few important things that I would have highlighted or circled, whatever your method is, it's fine, is the definition of a transformation. So it says a transformation is the mapping or movement of a plane in all of the points of a figure on a plane according to a common action or operation. A rigid motion is a special type of transformation that preserves the size and shape of the figure. Each of the actions you use to make the Running Man logo is slide, flip, spin is called a rigid motion. So we're going to start by exploring here. It says you're going to start by exploring the translation of the plane using the trapezoid shown. Trapezoid A, B, C, D has angles A, B, C, and D, and has sides A, B, B, C, C, D, and D, A. So it says, what else do we know about trapezoid ABCD? I want you to just take a second and jot down some things that we do know about triangle ABCD. Pause the video here, please. All right, welcome back. So let's go ahead and jump into that. What are some things that we know about trapezoid ABCD? Well, we know it's a quadrilateral. We know that it has one pair of parallel lines. Look right here. We have line AB and CD. So, and those lines are parallel. What else do we know? We know that angle B is a right angle. As well as angle C is also a right angle. That's a good amount of things that we can write down for the trapezoid. Let's keep going. So it says to use a translations mat at the end of the lesson for this exploration. I want you to use a straight edge to trace the trapezoid on the shiny side of a sheet of patty paper. So this is the translations mat. It'll be at the back of this lesson. And it wants you to take a piece of patty paper and go ahead and copy it, trace it onto the patty paper. Take a second to do that, please. Next is telling you to slide the patty paper containing the trapezoid to align line AB with one of the segments A prime, B prime. So we have our patty paper. We are here. And then we're going to go ahead and just slide it over because this is A prime, B prime right here. And then it wants us to record the location. So the easiest way to do this is to go ahead, and that's why they ask you to do it on the shiny side. I'm always bad with which side is which. I actually think I am on probably the wrong side. But yeah, I'm on the wrong side. But I do have those indentations there. So I am able to just go ahead and make my trapezoid. So you may want to use a straight edge so you can get those lines as straight as possible, and it'll be a little bit easier for you to see it. And then we have this line right here. Okay. So as we see, it's pretty much the same. The next thing it told us to do is to go ahead and record the location of the image trapezoid ABCD on the mat. And this image is called trapezoid A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. So I'm just going to label my angles A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. Okay. Going on the flip side of this paper, it says examine your pre-image and image. So this is going to be my pre-image and this will be my image, okay? Just a recap, if you look on the side right here, it's giving you those definitions. The original trapezoid, the very first trapezoid that you saw, that is going to be the pre-image. That is what's called the pre-image, your original shape. The trace image, which was the new one we did, is going to just be called image. That is the new figure that results from the transformation. Right here, it's saying which angle in trapezoid ABCD maps to each angle of trapezoid A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. So if you're not being able to see it by just looking at the translations map, you can always use your traced trapezoid and put it over here and you can see A prime maps to angle A maps to angle A prime. And I'm gonna let you do the rest by yourself. Pause the video here, please. So we should have angle A maps to A prime, angle B maps to B prime, angle C maps to C prime, and angle D maps to D prime. Sorry, let me get those angles. It's already told us to label the vertices on your drawing. We already have done that. Looking at B, it says which side of trapezoid A, B, C, D maps to each side of trapezoid A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. Go ahead and pause the video and try to do that yourself, please. All right, so we should have side AB goes with A prime, B prime. Side CD, is it CD? Well, yes, CD's on there. C prime, D prime. And we're not gonna do all of them. Well, yeah, we're not gonna do all of them. We're just gonna stop there. So just for the sake of time, let's go on. It says, what do you notice about the measures of the corresponding angles in the pre-image and the image? So again, line them up. What do you notice about them? Are they the same? Are they different? We're just gonna say, we're gonna notice that they have the same angle measure, okay? What do you notice about the lengths of the corresponding sides in the pre-image and image? When we line those up, they also had these same measures. And then it says, what do you notice about the relationship of A prime, B prime to C prime, D prime? So if I look at them, A prime, B prime to C prime, D prime. Well, what do y'all notice? Take a break and turn and talk with your partner and figure out what's to notice there. All right, coming back to it. If you guys said that they are parallel, then you are absolutely correct. They are parallel. And how does it relate to the corresponding sides of the pre-image? Well, those are always also parallel, right? So over the given questions, we already pointed out that they have the same angle measure, the same side lengths, and when they have all of that being the same, we should be able to identify that, yes, those are congruent. And why? Because they have the same side measures, side and angle measures. We're just gonna do that for shorthand. Okay. Moving on. So what we just performed is called a translation. A translation is a rigid motion transformation that slides each figure the same distance and direction. So just off to the side, I want you to rewrite that word translation. Translation. And if you have a different color, I want you to just go ahead and put some brackets around the SL. I want you to think when I see that SL, it means to slide, okay? On the mat, I'm not going to do this part with you, but on the mat, I want you to go ahead and draw the segments that connects the corresponding vertices. So I'm just going to show you exactly what that means. I want you to draw a line from here to here. But for sake of time and not making this video super duper long, I want you to go ahead and do that by yourself. And use a ruler to measure each segment. And I want you to tell me what you notice. Actually, I want you to discuss with your partner. What do you notice, okay? Coming down here, consider the translations you created as well as your classmates' translations. What did you figure out about, like, what changes after a translation? You should have said the only thing that changes is the location. The shape doesn't change, the orientation doesn't change, the size doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the location, okay? What stays the same about a figure after translation? Well, that's what we just talked about. Go ahead and turn and talk with your partners and see what it was that we just talked about, right? So we said that the size stays the same, the shape, and the orientation. Okay? And it says, what information do you need to perform a translation? I want you to turn and talk with your partner. What do you think we needed to perform the translations and or the slides that we perform? What do we need? Pause the video and think about it. All right, so the main thing we need is, what direction are we going, right? What direction are we going? So I just said the direction of how to perform the slide. And that is the end of that one. I know this one was a little bit long, and this one's going to take you a little bit more time to do. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'll provide my email in the description as always. Toodles!